being extra while eating strawberries, posing while recording, trying to be superior in her group, etc. are what netizens are talking about Jang Wonyoung recently. Despite possessing a princess-like beauty and incomparable reputation, she still becomes the subject of criticism of netizens and is now, to be honest, one of the most hated female idols. So why did this happen? Doesn't Wonyoung tick all boxes of an ideal idol and there's no reason to hate her? Yet, to prove that Wonyoung is the most spoiled and contentious idol ever seen in K-pop history, netizens have come up with some of her actions that tick them off. Number 1. Putting on a diva attitude. Among many reasons, people said the most annoying thing ticking them off was Wonyoung's diva attitude despite being among the youngest rookies in the industry. As some said, as Wonyoung has been leading the most flamboyant life, everywhere she went was weighted by flashes and most importantly, the reputation she got now came quite easily thanks to her sole visual, and that's why she was said to be so full of herself that even many seniors couldn't get her respect. So, many people had dug up times they believed Wonyoung was looking down on her seniors, including the time when she ignored NCT 127, allegedly gave Twice's Jungyeon a fiery glare, and back in time a little bit more, the fuss about her having an attitude with Sakura and Yoojin, as she shoved Sakura's shoulder for invading her position in the line, and smirked at Yoojin for joking she was IZ*ONE's leader. Apparently because everything has two sides, there were also many people who took the stance for Wonyoung, saying that everything about her, disrespecting other idols, was blown out of proportion and some were even distorted to paint her out as the villain. For example, fans said that the incident at Music Core was just one thing in a lifetime, and in the behind-the-scenes videos, she was seen constantly bowing to the MC line. Or in the one where Wonyoung shoved Sakura's shoulders, some pointed out that Wonyoung just wanted to be in line and tried to move as gently as possible between Eunbi and Sakura. However, as Sakura herself felt Wonyoung's shoulders touch her, she proactively moved to make room for Wonyoung, which was later changed to be a story between Wonyoung having a beef with Sakura over the center position. But as people have already got triggered, they continue to dig further into Wonyoung's past to prove how the early fame had turned her into a brat. Back when she was still a trainee at Produce 48, netizens noticed she had already often put on an ill attitude, yet because of the stunning visual, things seemingly just passed by in silence. Particularly, on the Nyana stage, Daewoo, AB6, was once bashed heartlessly because people found his fairy ending cringy. After that, Daewoo said many times that he not only hated but also wanted to delete that footage for good out of embarrassment. The thing is, despite the acrid reactions of Daewoo, Wonyoung still brought that up, recreated the moment right on Produce 48 and even added in some spices like sexy body wave, wink and air kiss. Then people also dug up the time when she straight up disrespected Chaeyeon in front of the camera. Though Chaeyeon was older and standing right next to her, some noticed Wonyoung just cared about herself, putting the phone right in front of Chaeyeon's face to show off her pretty selfie and not even bothering to apologize though Chaeyeon was obviously upset by her action. Not only that, Chaeyeon herself even said when she tried to join the livestream with Wonyoung the other day, she was downhearted a little bit as Wonyoung immediately whined after the request. However, there were also defending opinions, saying that Wonyoung was still a kid being hit by puberty and at such a phase, it was completely normal for people to behave a bit more carelessly than normal. Plus, because IZ*ONE members always loved each other as a family, they were just treating each other the way siblings did. Number 2. Being obsessed with her look. When all the beef about Wonyoung's attitude began to settle down, things got stirred up again when netizens started to raise new concerns about how she always pays too much attention to her look on camera. Things all started when Wonyoung's strawberry eating scene in an episode of Omniscient Interfering View went viral all over internet. That scene was so unusual that the MCs were all taken aback and asked why Wonyoung was holding the strawberry with two hands, and Wonyoung replied that it was because the strawberry was too big. However, a netizen said that even if it was an apple, Wonyoung didn't need to hold it with both hands like that, and the fact that she did that with a strawberry is just because she was trying to look cute. Another admitted that she found the scene was extremely awkward as Wonyoung was also deliberately pouting her lips while chewing and even glanced at the camera before starting to eat. Moreover, netizens also pointed out how Wonyoung just kept worrying about her appearance while performing, thus constantly failing to deliver the best performance, and creating an impression that she was being fake. Specifically, after I've posted their recording session for 11 and there, people noticed how while everyone was 100% focused on singing, Wonyoung was seen weirdly standing far away from the mic, avoiding it to cover her face, which people believed to be the effort of displaying her visual and facial expressions better for the camera. On Pan, there was even a thread titled, "Why is Jang Wonyoung like this?" where all the allegedly lazy dancing moments of Wonyoung were combined and in detail. The OP also pointed out while all other members were giving their best, Wonyoung was the only one to dance with a stiffened neck to maintain her hair because she didn't want it to get messy. The post also received an overwhelming number of upvotes at 733 compared to only 439 downvotes in overall. People seemed to be quite annoyed by the impression that she wasn't working as hard as other members, always trying to be pretty by constantly winking and air kissing, even though it could ruin the synchronization and dynamic of IVE's performances. However, many believed it was super absurd to criticize her mercilessly like that, because right after the performance, Wonyoung had to continue emceeing, so trying to keep the sophisticated hair in style was still better than messing it up for a 3-minute performance, then spending another 20 minutes just to fix it. Number 3. Lack of talents and skills. Anyway, since Wonyoung was the only person to have the mood for posing in front of the camera while other girls were singing their hearts out, it was reasonable for netizens to believe there was something wrong with her vocal capabilities. As pointed out by netizens, only until now her capabilities were criticized was that thanks to the limited members of IVE, her line got way longer compared to the time in IZ*ONE, so all the vocal weaknesses were shown up. Besides her poor breath control and singing techniques that people noticed on her encore stages, her dancing skills also ticked people off as people found them not neat enough, lacking so much power and even offbeat at some points. Since Wonyoung had already had 3 years working as a member of a successful act like IZ*ONE, netizens believed her incompetency was utterly unacceptable. Because this reason for hating Wonyoung sounded too forced, many people decided to stand up for Wonyoung this time and said because she had to lose lots of weight to satisfy the public, her muscles also vanished and it led to the alleged sloppy dancing of Wonyoung. Combining such a health condition with the fact that her schedule has always been hectic, people should have let her breath for some minutes instead of always nitpicking on her like that. The defenders emphasized that people who criticized Wonyoung were just jealous and couldn't swallow the fact that there is an 18-year-old girl out there who already amounted to everything in life. So, do you think it's true that most people hate Wonyoung out of jealousy, or there is really something wrong with Wonyoung herself? Leave your comments down below. I'll read them all. Remember to subscribe to K-Pop Cake if you don't want to miss out on any juicy K-pop content.